really trying to think about how we think about the field of psychology-engaged theology and how we develop that field. Interdisciplinary and cross-disciplinary research is incredibly important in terms of triangulating across disciplinary perspectives. So psychology and theology both are very focused on people. So it makes sense to bring these two disciplines together, the insights from these two disciplines, to help us understand people better.
If we can build kind of a collaborative relationship, then there's all sorts of things that can happen from there.
I think the feedback that we can get from each other has taught me a way of doing theology that is different from anything I had experienced before.
We had 30 fellows involved in the project who did research on two different themes. So the first theme was God representations, or how people think about the divine. And the second theme was the role of religion in human flourishing in social relationships.
So I was looking at mental health resilience among emerging adults in Kenyan faith communities or congregations. As practical theologians, we ask, so what? And I think when we have that conversation with them, we'll be able to see some practical ways in which communities of faith can foster better mental well-being for our young people who form the larger demographic of the wonderful continent, the mother continent we call it, of Africa.
My research project was looking at how mental health care clinicians understand their patients' religious experiences. The research like that is very important for a multitude of reasons, one of which being the impact on clinical training for psychologists and psychiatrists working with people with severe mental illness, and how we can best support and understand the experiences that they have in altered mental states.
For my project, I interviewed 11 Christian adults with intellectual disabilities across the province of Ontario in Canada. And I was hoping to understand kind of how they thought about themselves and how they thought about God, using arts-based methods to really get at that. I think what the Psychology Cross-Training Fellowship did was help to legitimize some of those stories in different ways. And so as I was meeting with participants, they were really excited to share their name, to share their art, to share their theology with the world in this way. And having some of these psychology-engaged tools really help to do that in a way that stands out to churches, but also researchers and also to social services as well.
I really like this research community that we've built here in Birmingham. Like, we're able to bring together psychologists and theologians and having these sort of conversations that brings the two fields together. And I think that really changed my learning and my perspective as a researcher.
Psychology-engaged theology gives us the tools, as theologians at least, to be able to look at these questions from a scientific perspective. And then also we bring in our theological reflection to bear on what we are finding out.
It really changes one's thinking once we actually start to engage with living theology, with empirical data.
One of the biggest changes I've seen is people's confidence in themselves to do this research at the intersection of psychology and theology.
It has been a sort of a revolution to engage in this different kind of thinking.
And it's been totally different. So now this is a more of a permanent part of my research profile, is psychologically informed approaches to these theological themes.
And I'm getting used to it, but I like it a lot.